Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for March 17th. We are looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This pair surged to the downside within the first 30 minutes of this session, was down 303 pips. It did pull back substantially prior to the close. We are looking for this pair to continue its downward movement, possibly, however, pulling back to 80.94, possibly moving back down to 75.99. Look for some resistance around 79.75 and look for some support around 76.40. Now, the Euro-USD pair, this pair moved to the upside. It did close, it did break previous resistance, pull back to close a little bit lower. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 141.88, possibly as low as 137.90. Look for some resistance around 0.4050. and look for some support around 138.50. Now, the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed higher overall, moving sideways. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 162.98, possibly as low as 159.06. Look for some resistance around 161.75 and look for some support around 160.25. Now, the U.S. Swiss, this pair continues to move to the downside, is moving lower. Look for it to move lower. If we do get a reversal, look for it to hit resistance around 0.9069, possibly hitting some support around 0.8915. Now, as far as news analysis go, we have the euro. They have the German producer prices being released for February at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that prices have moved a little bit higher from 5.7% to 6.3%. We also have the Canadian dollar releasing their consumer price index for February at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that one is that it's held at 2.3%. Now, what am I looking for during this next session or so? Well, if you drop to the 4-hour time frame on the pound US dollar pair, back out a little ways, you will see that we have some highs here that are lining up to form a trend line. Just put it in place there. This one didn't quite get there, but nonetheless we have a trend line there. We also have, if you zoom in, you can see it, we have a double inside bar that has formed over the past couple of hours, and we have potentials for several exits on this thing. So let's go ahead and zoom in now. So we have one inside bar right here that was formed. This was the inside bar, the first one, and then we have another inside bar that was formed. So it's the second inside bar in a row, indicative of consolidation and also breakouts. You can see here, if you draw a trend line just off these three, that it's a pretty strong trend line to the downside. You could take the break of that as well. Definitely looking for it to break to the upside. If we do get a break, you know, the first little area is around 5 pips up. You may want to just put your potential buy, you know, basically a buy at 161.68, which is right above that first area of potential resistance, and then bring it on up and then exit here, or go to break even and then exit at the next one. Kind of what that looks like be about a 30 pip move, and then the second one would be about a 70 pip move. So that's what I'm looking for it to happen over the next session or two. If it does break to the downside, which is definitely a possibility, we have this first, the low here breaking. We have a potential for it to start hitting some areas of support, most likely around in this area, not so much this one, but nonetheless we put it on there. Basically looking about a 25 pip move to the first area of support. Second area of support's around 46 pips to the downside. So that is what I'm looking for as far as trades, using a risk to reward of about 1-to-1 on these going forward. Well, that about wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.